Welcome to Sportsbet TV with me, Paul Alste. I'm back with you as we continue our coverage of Royal Ascot 2022. And I'm looking forward now to day 4, which is on Friday, the 17th of June, the penultimate day at this scorching hot Royal meeting. And so far, the first 2 days have gone really well. This bulletin being recorded Thursday late morning. By which time we already know the Wednesday results, and they were very kind to us. Eldar Eldarov, did you think he won? I really wasn't sure if he'd won, and even having seen the photo finish, I still can't separate them, but I'm very happy to take the win. Now, of course, when I recorded my tips on the Monday evening, there was some bit of 13-2 about, 6 and 11-2 went. He was backed off the boards, and in return, what was it, 5-2 favourite? But I hope some of you were on a better odds and you were as excited as I was when he came through to win in the very last stride. Quite how the judge separated them, I don't know, but I'm glad he did. So that was a great start to a Wednesday. Then we had Astro King running a very solid race in the Hunt Cup to be 4, so that was a nice each way for us, 17-2. Symbolised didn't really bring his A game to the table in that race. And then later on in the day, Spirit of the Bay did us proud, running into a place, finishing 5th, all bookmakers paying 5 places, some are paying 6. And that was at 16-1. So that was a very nice, tasty place treble. And of course, the win with Eldar Eldarov made it a cracking day. Well, if you're new to this service, please press the subscribe button just below this screen, and then you'll be able to hear my views on the races and do with them whatever you will. Happy to say there's plenty of people that are following and making regular profits over the course of the season. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And when you're tipping at decent odds, you know you're going to have periods. But of late, things have been going really well. So let's keep everything crossed that it stays that way. I've got 4 selections for you for Friday. So let's crack on with them. Of course, we're hoping that those we tipped on Thursday are going to go well. This bulletin being recorded before racing. I noticed a couple of them have really drifted. Surrey Mist out to 20-1. Fiat McHugh out to 40-1. Might go in again on that. I took 25. Anyway, Friday, Royal Ascot. My first selection is in the 305 race, the Group 1 Commonwealth Cup. This is the 6 furlong championship for 3-year-olds. Remember, the ground is going to be really quick. No rain forecast unless there's a bit of a bubble up thunderstorm. 20 runners, all of them talented 3-year-olds. Some improving, getting better at 3, others trying to cling on to the glories of their juvenile days. Now, the outstanding 2-year-old amongst these last season was Perfect Power, Richard Farr, his horse, who, of course, won at Royal Ascot and was a dual Group 1 winner, so really high class 2-year-old. He came out and he won the Greenham over 7 furlongs, and then he ran out of steam in the 2,000 guineas behind Caribas, finishing 7th. He's going to be a big danger to all, dropping back to the 6 furlongs. And I wouldn't put anybody off. He's around 4-1 favourite last time I looked. Now, Carl Burke had a really good winning juvenile on Wednesday at Royal Ascot. He's got a nice 3-year-old here called El Caballo, whose only defeat came in the first of his 7 races. He's won the subsequent 6. Seems to be getting better with every run. I don't think he's ever run on quick ground before, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to be as effective on the fast ground. And this, of course, his first attempt at Group 1. So I think he has a few questions to answer, but that's not to say he's going to come up with the goods. Now, the Irish Group 3 winner, Twilight Jet for Michael O'Callaghan, is rated 114, so he's a very smart horse. He's got plenty of good form and is worth considering. And William Haggis, doesn't have to be called Willie, William Haggis has Tiber Flow. This one beaten a short head by El Caballo at Newcastle in April. And he himself beat Eraz a short head in a listed race at Newbury last time out. Now, there's loads of form lines tying up here, but Eraz, who runs on Friday, has already been well backed. And it appears there's quite a bit of confidence behind him. He is very much respected, along with an old friend of this channel, Flaming Rib, who did us a big favour, you'll remember, last year at York. landed a really nice touch for us and has already been doing well this season. But my choice is a horse called Go Bears Go, trained by David Loughnan, a real rising star in the training ranks in Britain, and the mount of Rossa Ryan, who is a jockey I've got a lot of time for. Now, this Go Bears Go was a really good 2-year-old. Indeed, he was only beaten ahead by Perfect Power at Royal Ascot last year in the Norfolk Stakes. He went on to win a Group 2 over 6 furlongs at the Curragh, and then he was only beaten a length in the Group 1 Phoenix Stakes back at the Curragh. He went on to be fourth in the Group 1 Middle Park Stakes to old rival Perfect Power. Again, they're not beaten very far, just 1 length. He was beaten the Group 1 there. And he ended last term running a real blinder. He went to America, to Del Mar, in the Breeders' Cup on lightning fast ground, even faster than at Royal Ascot this week. And he came second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. So this is a horse with a lot of pace and the ability to see it out over 6 furlongs as well. Now, already this season, he's won over course and distance, where he beat Hierarchy, Eras and Winds of War, and those 3 are all set to oppose. That was in a Group 3 in the spring. And then he was really unlucky at Haydock last time out in the Group 2 Sandy Lane Stakes, because he literally fell coming out of the stalls. He was down on his knees, got back up. Of course, you can't win a sprint after that. But he came through really well to finish 4th there. And he would have gone so close had that not happened at the stalls. And David Loughnan, interviewed after the race, was really, you could see he was absolutely heartbroken, because I think he believed the horse would have won. Well, I'm hoping he's going to get compensation here against El Caballo, old rival Perfect Power and others. And at 9-1 each way at the time of this recording, and that's for 5 places, and that's a general offer with many firms. I think Go Bears Go is a sporting choice to win at Royal Ascot on Friday in the Commonwealth Cup at 3:05. Now, my second selection will go straight after that in the 3:40. This is the Duke of Edinburgh handicap over 1.5 miles for 3-year-olds and upwards, 19 runners. Of course, it's on the round course, good to firm. The Queen's got a big chance. That's regardless of whether or not her Reach for the Moon wins on Thursday, because she's got a horse here with a proper chance here. And I think she won't be at all far away. But there are others with chances. Michael Stout has a runner who, or rather this horse trained by Michael Stout, was 3rd on its reappearance at York. So I think this one has been primed to be at its peak for the Royal Meeting for obvious reasons. But there are loads of others with chances in the race. John Gosson's got one called Trawler Man. And this one, I think, still on a fair mark after winning at Chelmsford last time out. And David Barron, who trains up there in Yorkshire, has got a progressive horse called Contact, who's on a hat-trick after some impressive wins, winning at Newmarket and at Haydock Park. William Haggers has a Candleford, who I think is a potential improver and runs first time out here, might go well fresh. And Jessica Harrington's Ever Present is another one first time out, but won 3 of its last 4 races last term and was really progressing, and it will light the ground. Now, George Baker, the trainer, has a horse called Semhan. Now, Semhan has been a real standard bearer for the stable this season. I think he's going to be a big danger to all, because he slammed a good field in a valuable 1 3/4 Newmarket handicap at the Guineas meeting, and he ran right away with that. He's only gone up £5, but he'd also previously won over 1.5 miles on good to firm ground at Salisbury. So he ticks most of the right boxes, and I came very close to tipping him here. But eventually I decided not to, only because I tipped Georgie's horse on Thursday, Surrey Mist, and George has only had the one Royal Ascot winner. That was a day I'll never forget. Belgian Bill winning the Royal Hunt Cup at massive odds on the Betfair. And I just can't imagine George having 2 winners at the meeting. So maybe I'm going with the wrong one. I don't know. But it would be great if either wins. But I think Semhan will run very well. But there is a horse that went into my notebook after its win last time out, and I've decided to stick with it. It's called Mashore, trained by Johnny Murter over in Ireland. And Ben Cohen, one of the up-and-coming stars of the Irish weighing room, is on board. Now, this horse was trained last year by Sir Michael Stout, and let's be honest, there aren't many horses leave Sir Michael Stout's yard and improve, but I think that has been the case. Probably the change of scene as much as anything for Mashaw. He ran 5 times for Sir Michael, including winning a Nottingham Mile novice stakes on good to firm ground, so the ground will certainly not be a problem, and he achieved a rating of 87 for Sir Michael. He then was gelded during the winter, and he joined Johnny Murtagh right at the start of April, and straight away ran really well after being gelded. He was 4th of 17 on soft ground at Cork in mid-April. That was a really big effort on his first run for 8.5 months, new stable, new country, new surroundings, a really good, solid effort. And then just 11 days later, he went back, or rather a month and 11 days later, he went to Cork on the 25th of May, and he slammed a really good field. It looked to me to be a really warm race. And I love the way he travelled. It was good ground with a little bit of yielding in it, but a pretty sound surface. And he really bounded away from them at the furlong pole. That was over 1.25 miles. He won with a lot in hand. And I think the step up to 1.5 miles is going to bring out even more improvement in Mashaw. He's trying the trip for the first time out, and he's running off a mark now of 99. So the handicapper has certainly looked at it like what he saw as well. But this horse, potentially, he's got the breeding to be useful. I think he's by Kingman. So he's a nice horse. Now, he is drawn in stall 1, which may be an issue. He won't be running from the front, so he'll have to ride him for luck and try and find his way through Ben Cohen. But I'm hoping he'll be able to do so. And I think, granted that luck in running, he's got solid each-way claims. And at 10-1 each way at the time of this recording on Thursday late morning, 10-1 each way for 5 places with Bet Victor, Coral, Betfred, Betway and Ladbrokes, amongst others. Mashaw is just preferred for me to Sem Harm in the Duke of Edinburgh handicap, the 340 on Friday. And then we're going to consecutive races this time. Well, the big race on Friday is the 420, the Group 1 Coronation Stakes on the Round Mile. This for the 3-year-old fillies, 12 very good fillies. It's a pretty hot renewal, I think. And really the race centres around the horse that was Antipode's favourite for so long for the 1,000 guineas in Spiral. Now, of course, she missed the race in the end. She had a little bit of a setback. But she was such an outstanding 2-year-old filly. She won all 4 races. She was the top 2-year-old filly of Britain and Ireland of 2021, as much as anything by dint of the fact that she ended the season winning the Group 1 Fillies Mile at Newmarket, where she beat Prosperous Voyage, trained by Rafe Beckett. And that one has gone on to finish second in the 1,000 guineas, which Inspire, of course, was unable to contest. So you'd have to think that if she had been fit and she has trained on, she would have gone very close to winning the guineas. So this is her first run for quite a long time. She may well be good enough to win, but I wouldn't want to be taking 2-1 about her being able to do that. So I'm opposing the favourite, as is often the case, as you know, with me. Is she going to be as good as last year? That basically is the question you have to ask yourself. What we know is that Prosperous Voyage, that ran a good second to her, finished second in the Guineas to Cachet, George Bowie's Cachet, terrific winner of the Guineas on pretty quick ground. And she went very, very close to following up the famous double, did Cachet, when just nailed close home in the French 1,000 Guineas recently. I don't think there'll be much between Cachet and Prosperous Voyage. Prosperous Voyage, just that little bit fresher. Cachet's had 2 hard races in the space of a month. It'll be interesting to see if she's able to bounce back and produce it again in another Group 1. Jessie Harrington's Discoveries. Now, this is a really interesting filly because she is bred to win this race. If ever there was a horse bred to win a specific race, it is Discoveries, because her 2 full sisters have both won the race, believe it or not. Alpha Centauri, you'll remember her winning it in 2018, and Alpine Star, who won it in 2020. Now, I've been around a while. I'm not sure I can remember 3 full siblings winning the same Group 1 race. I can't recall that. If anybody out there can think of an example, I'd be very interested to hear about it. So Discover is a talented horse, a Group 1 winner at the Curragh as a 2-year-old over 7 furlongs, probably just in need of the outing, I thought, in the 1,000 guineas at HQ, won by Cachet when fading at the furlong pole, is rated a proper danger, bred to win this race more than probably any other horse in Britain or Ireland. The hard horse to assess here, I think, is the American Raider, Splendorella. Good on them for having a crack at this, coming over from the States. Graham Motion is the trainer. And I hope it runs well for them and maybe pays the expenses. But it would be a massive performance to win. It's 3 from 3, never tasted defeat, the American filly. But the value for me here in this race, at the time of this recording, Thursday late morning, is with the French Raider, Mongoustine, was trained by Mikel Delzongo, and the mount of the very veteran jockey, French star jockey for many decades, Gérald Mosset. Well, Mongoustine was a really good 2-year-old. She won all 3 starts as a juvenile in France, including a Group 3 over 7 furlongs at Chantilly in October. And then she had a really nice prep run first time out. She finished 3rd on her seasonal reappearance at Longshot in April, just beaten a length and 3/4. And anybody that saw that race will understand that she really wasn't knocked about. She was being given a race, of course, but they had other prizes in mind. And then she went to the 1,000 guineas, the French 1,000 guineas, the Poule Décide de Pouliche on the good to soft ground. She looked like she was going to have to settle for probably second at the very best, because Cachet up front with the run of the race was bounding on still at the furlong pole. But then Mongoustine produced a really smart turn of foot and in the end reeled in Cachet in the last few strides. I thought it was a very, very impressive performance. Now, a lot of people will point to the fact that she's not run on fast ground, but let's be honest, the French know what the going is going to be at Ascot. They've got the internet as well and a telephone. And so they wouldn't be bringing her over here to Britain if they didn't think she was going to handle it. So I'm not too concerned about the fact, in particular, because those of you who've been around the game a little bit of the time will remember Mikel Delzongo bringing over a horse in the 2,000 guineas of 2010 that had never run on fast ground before. Its name was Macfie, and it only went and won the guineas, the 2,000 guineas at 33-1, first time out on fast ground. He doesn't bring many horses to Britain, Mikel Delzongo, but when he does, you've got to sit up and pay attention. So I think he's following a not dissimilar path as far as a filly goes to the Colts with Mongoustine. And at 10-1 each way, offered at the time of this recording, best price 4 places with the Betfair Sportsbook. I think Mongoustine is going to go really well and is overpriced. And I just think the bookies in Britain tend to underestimate the value of the French form. You'll remember me tipping you the winner of the Champion Stakes at Ascot in the autumn, the French horse Sealiway. That was completely overlooked after a massive run the time before and popped up at 14-1 or 16s or something like that. So Mongoustine is my call in the Coronation Stakes, 4:20 on Friday. And then very quickly, to a race that looks impossible, but I like a challenge. I really do. And the 5 o'clock race at Royal Ascot is the Sandringham handicap. It's 3-year-old fillies only. It's over the straight mile, 29 runners. So shop around. Bookies are sure to pay 6 places. There'll be plenty paying 7, some probably even giving you a chance with 8. So look around, try and get the best value you can. A cavalry charge. So you just take your pick, you pay your money and you take your chance. The unbeaten horse here is Heredia, who is trained by Richard Hannon and the mount of Sean Levy. 3 from 3. It won a York handicap over 7 furlongs very nicely last time. It goes up a furlong and it's gone up £7 as well, but there could be a lot more to come. That one's the favourite, round 5-1. There are countless fillies with chances in this. And it's fair to say that you're going to need to have luck in running, as always, in these big fields. But granted that luck in running, I think there's a horse here with a bit of a chance at a big prize. And it's called Tamarama, trained by Charles Hills, who's already had a winner at the meeting. And David Probert is going to be on board. Now, this filly was placed in 2 of 3 starts as a 2-year-old. She didn't win as a juvenile. She's by Mohara. She's out of a Group 3 winner who got better with age and was rated 106. So she's bred to improve as she gets older as a 3-year-old, even on, all being well, into her 4-year-old career. She made her 3-year-old bow at Windsor in a 1.25 mile handicap. She finished 3rd there. That wasn't a bad effort. And then she was beaten half a length in a Ripon 1.25 mile novice stakes. 2 weeks later, won by Mandobi, a horse who's quite fancied, a horse of William Haggis's, for one of the big handicaps here this week as well. And Mandobi has since gone on to win by 5 lengths at Thirsk, so that form has been franked. Now, since then, the penny has dropped. Tamarama has begun to understand what racing's about, and she went to Beverley, which is a really stiff mile, uphill all the way, the final 3 furlongs, and she won a maiden over the extended mile, first time out on good to firm ground. So I don't think the quick ground is going to be a problem for her. She made all, ran on well, plenty in hand. And then she went back to a handicap running at Ripon. She was always prominent, which is another good thing, because if you can race up with the pace, you've got less chance of getting into trouble in this big field on Friday. And she ran on very strongly, May the 25th, winning there. And she's gone up £4. I think they've found her trip now, the stiff mile. The surface is to suit. She's drawn in the middle, 13, so jockey can follow the pace. If it does appear there's an advantage, one side or the other, or, as you know, the quickest place way between 2 points is a straight line. Maybe just go straight up the middle and keep going. So I think she's got a proper chance. And 25 to 1 is available each way for 6 places with Ladbrokes. I think that is a fairly good value. I know that she was available yesterday at 33s in places. That's been taken. So it looks like there is a bit of money coming in for Tamarama, but 25 to 1 at the time of this recording, just a little bit each way. Sporting chance in that Sandringham handicap, the Ascot 5 o'clock on Friday. So that's it for now. I'll be back with the selections for Saturday's action. And I hope very much that you'll be joining me for that, and that those that are running on Thursday and these selections on Friday are going to continue to give us some real fun for our money. Fingers crossed. Best of luck. I'll be back with Saturday selections soon enough. Bye for now.